Welcome, it's King Lizzard on Xbox One with some scorching hot racing action from Forza Motorsport 6 at YAS Marina's Corkscrew variant. So today I tuned up and jumped into a Aston Martin V12 Zagato, and what a car. Really nice car anyway, standard out the box, but this tune really worked well for me on this circuit. So start of the race is pretty messy, and I even get caught up in a bit of a spin out at the beginning of the race here because of all the kind of argy-bargy from the computers and stuff. The AI in this game, when you're playing in private lobbies with your friends or friends of friends, I got spun out, is pretty dirty. It will drive through you, and what's even worse is that when it hits you, sometimes it kind of goes through half your car. It's like the cars merge, it's not always clean. That bumper there that fell off, I don't know if you saw that at the bottom right hand side of the screen. I'm not sure where that came from. I've yet to be able to identify which car that fell off. I've yet to see a bumper being lost by a vehicle during a crash. So I'm up against 8 human opponents here, and the rest of the field is made up of expert AI. So we're trying to obviously race for competitive sake. We're all very competitive in this game. We're all pretty good drivers, to be honest, most of us. So we're looking to obviously beat each other, beat our lap times, and win the race ultimately. So it's a very competitive race, this one, although a fair race at the same time. You can see there that Sagaris being smashed around all over the place, and that car on the corner there was kind of almost stopping. He didn't need to drive that slow. That was me hitting him up the backside. Fortunately, I didn't take any damage from that. I do have full damage and simulation on, so that's why I'm really keen to get out of this mid-pack and get myself into the front set of cars, because I don't particularly want to get prematurely damaged by all of that AI argy-bargy at the back of the track. So I managed to sneak myself into 6th position there, coming up to the end of the first lap. That Urus is a human opponent, and try and zip past him in this Zagato. Should be able to take him in this car. And that takes me into 5th place as I get round the corner into the final straight for the first lap. So into the second lap here. I've got a Ford GT now in my sights. I need to reel in. And then after that I've got a KTM and another Aston Martin. Another V12, I think. But pretty much on this car, I mean, someone was asking me the other day about tuning, and tuning, I've been tuning since around the time of Forza 3's release. I was tuning, but I actually did start playing a lot of Forza 2 at the time. I lost my save data and stuff, so I kind of had to start again. And I met a chap in some of the lobbies, a chap called Uncle Dave, who I'm very thankful for. He's a really good Forza community member. Helped me a lot in the early days of my tuning and stuff. So if you're listening, Uncle Dave, massive thanks. But what I do like to do, I'm not one of these people that keep information to myself so I can remain a better competitor or a superior competitor. I like to share it. So any questions about tunes that I've set up or anything, just let me know. If you want to know the configs, I'll pop them over to you, and you can try to learn from my configurations. That's how I did it. Basically, I got given some configurations, and from those configurations I tried to configure other cars and read a bit more about what those particular modifications that I was doing did to the car and stuff. So it's it's just a way of learning, if you like. Kind of learnt the hard way, if you like, but also at the same time it was the practical way of learning, because obviously it's hands-on. But I actually managed to get some pretty good tunes. The other day I was racing in one of the Rivals events for C-Class at Rio, and I basically took all my C-Classes onto that track and ran through them. I actually managed to get, it was about 120 something in the world on one of the circuits with one of my tunes, which I was quite happy with, one of my GT86 tunes, sorry. I was quite happy with that. That chap there in the KTM had a bit of a spin out there. He couldn't quite keep up with the pace of my car in the corner. So I managed to zip myself in a second now. The KTM really buzzing me at the back there, putting the pressure on. I in turn at this point see first place and want it. I've got a lap to reel in first place now, so I'm really pushing this hard. Guy in the KTM behind is a manual driver, I'm an automatic driver. The guy in front is also a manual driver. So for auto, this tune's doing a pretty good job for me. And any other auto drivers out there, and there's lots of it out there, obviously the more competitive people on the rivals and stuff are going to be the manual drivers, because they get that little bit of an edge from manual shifting and stuff, especially with clutch. But you know, you can still be quite competitive as an auto driver, so don't give up hope. Keep practicing, keep lapping, use rivals. That's a good way of learning the game, learning cars, learning tracks, and you know, just excel really. Just, you know, as long as you're enjoying yourself driving, keep doing it. And one day you'll get there. Something will click and things will fall into place, and you'll start having some more success in online racing and stuff, when obviously you're not being knocked off the track, of course. Hence why I'm racing in with a series of people that I know. It's very much a competitive race between us, but we are racing each other because we know that we drive fairly and we race fairly. We don't at any point try and take each other out to gain the advantage. So I'm right on the tail of this other Aston Martin here, and I've just taken him on that corner. He went a little bit wide, and I managed to sneak up on the outside there. Absolutely flat out on this corner. He's keeping up quite nicely there. KTM having major problems at the back there, kind of sliding all over the show. That is a real nasty car to drive manual, that KTM. A lot of people can't do it that drive manual, I know that. So the two guys at the back there really fighting out against each other, kind of slowed each other down there, did me a big favour into this final lap. So coming up to the finish, it's pretty much mine in the bag now. Going to be race over for King Lizzard, first place, and my Zagato V12. If you want the tune, just look up my gamer tag for creator, King space Lizzard, Lizzard. Take care, keep watching, please remember to rate and subscribe.